This is what I'm going to talk about today. So complex data, simple solutions. And the main aim of the session is really to talk about some key principles and to simplify a lot of things, right? Around CDP, around server-side tracking, around tag management, and other things. As you know, talking about tag, there is a chance that people are getting confused very, very quickly, right? So that there is a lot of misunderstanding. And I'm really trying to demystify some of it. And of course, I will show you how our problem-solving solutions can really help you to become a master of customer data management. Wade introduced me already. My name is Tim. Hey guys, Principal Solution Consultant at Tealium. And I'm very happy to be your presenter for the next around 25 minutes. And as a solution consultant, I'm a passionate tech expert or product expert, right? And I'm helping companies to understand how they can gain value from our tech, right? How they can apply it. And of course, yeah, I'm 8 years with Tealium, right? So a lot of experience, but I've been very lucky because I was part of so many, or I took part in so many successful projects. And I'm very happy about it. And I'm very happy about it to share it with you guys because it's all about you. You want to learn, and I'm here to really pass this on to you guys. So looking forward to this. So the use case, what are we actually talking about, right? And why this is a challenge. This is what I'm going to present. And I'm talking about the prerequisites, right? I already mentioned you want to become a master of customer data management. And I will tell you some of the prerequisites you need to consider to achieve that. And what it means, right? So I will untangle some of the key terms, and I will talk about the solution. So how Tealium enables you to technically, right, to become successful. So what you can see here is the MarTech map. And I'm 100% sure a lot of people have already seen that, right? And it includes all marketing technologies that are out there, right? And as you can see, there are thousands, right? You can't even recognize the logos anymore. And it's getting more, right? So this is growing and growing, more technologies entering the market. And all, of course, with the final goal of pleasing the customer and providing an outstanding user experience. And they have one thing in common, very simple, right? All these tools collect data to execute their service, what they're actually built for. Right? And as an analytics guy, I want to report on data. Very simple. As an advertising guy, I want to track the success of my campaigns. So conversion tracking and so on is very important for me. And technically, this is a combination of collecting the data and distributing it to downstream solutions. But how do I manage this as a marketer, as an analytics person, right? It can get technical very, very quickly, as I need, of course, access to the data, right? I need to be able to work with the data. I need to get enabled. I need to send the data to required systems, right? These are complex tasks. And besides the huge challenge of technical enablement, right, there are legal restrictions on top of that. And because I may not be allowed to use the data as I'd like to, right? So there are restrictions. And I need to be aware of these restrictions because if I do mistakes, if I causing errors, right, this can be very, very expensive because I get fined. And the user that is buying our products, engaging with my brand, right, is also a challenge because the behavior is also complex, right? There's nothing you can dictate, right? With my marketing activities, I can only influence what this person should do. But let's start at the beginning and talk about some of the prerequisites first. So the marketing landscape, as we basically knew it, doesn't exist anymore, right? We know there's a new present, right? And this new present is not third-party data-based. Yeah? And if we have a look at the use cases and for which purpose we've been using third-party data, right? Like ad retargeting, lookalike modeling, audience targeting, attribution and analytics, right? These are very, very typical use cases where third-party data was important. Yeah, but what's the impact on third-party data loss, right? So with ad retargeting, you're losing addressability, right? So you can target and not the people anymore as before. With lookalike modeling, you're losing reach, right? So less people coming to my site, right, that I didn't knew before. Audience targeting, the impact of my personalization strategy and my personalization activities is decreasing, right? Because nobody will literally see it. Yeah. And with analytics and attribution, you're taking the wrong decisions because the data that is available, right, is wrong, or showing different, not the right things. So there needs to be a shift, right? And we all heard about first-party data already today because it's so important, right? Because this is data that you can own, right? This is data that you can control. And therefore, important really to build up the relationship and to deepen the relationship with your customers and future customers and prospects. And when we're talking about first-party data, we're referring to data that is directly collected from your own sources. Yeah, actually very simple. And this includes data that is gathered from websites, obviously, mobile apps, CRM systems, loyalty programs, right? And data stored in your data warehouse. And as stated on the previous slide, first-party data is highly valuable because it's directly obtained from the interactions of people with your brands, right? So it's accurate and relevant. So data that you own and control, in theory, right? Because this is a big task. Data is mostly connected between the applications and the experience level, right? In a point-to-point fashion. So there is no comprehensive view on the data. And data flows are intransparent, right? I have no transparency about it. And this is why you need to centralize data so that you can really control it. And controlling data also means you are free to choose when and where to share data. Yeah? And consequently, companies need access to downstream systems and channels, which can only be achieved if there is a diverse integration marketplace available. And all data anywhere, right? With all your data free-flowing between sources and applications, and all of this in the hand of the marketer. This is very, very important because customer data management should really not be complex. This is what it's about, right? So if you're using tech, it is important to achieve a quick enablement. Because this is leading to a high adoption rate. Yeah? And this will increase, obviously, the satisfaction of business users. And this is what is driving ROI in the end, right? This is how you gain value, because you're using the technology. And so your clients and prospects, of course, will also be happy about it, because they're getting the user or the experience that they need. And with Tealium, business users will have access to an intuitive UI, right, to manage complex data tasks in a very intuitive approach. So if you want to gain most out of your customer data, you need to apply different solutions, right, as there are different tasks and different use cases. And all these solutions should be seamlessly integrated to avoid data fragmentation. Otherwise, I'm creating another problem, right? So it is important to keep the data free-flowing between modules in real time, right? And this is what Tealium provides with its stack, right? Which has major benefits compared to using tools from different vendors for each of the different domains and use cases. And you can set the data collection and activation foundation with Tealium IQ and Event Stream, right? And extend your data, your customer data use cases, and drive personalization by using Audience Stream CDP and PredictML. But let's clarify some of the most important terms. Yeah? So on a high level, Tealium is providing a solution to collect, transform, and distribute data. And there are different ways to process and deliver data. Yeah, so you may have heard about browser tracking, you may have heard about server-side tracking, and there are different data types, yeah, and to process and deliver on top of that, right? And on the one hand, you may have heard about event-based data. On the other side, and I'm pretty sure you've already heard about aggregated and enriched data, but what does it actually mean? So let's start about talking about the data layer first, yeah? So, because I know it's obvious that you need a data layer, but me personally, I'm so amazed about this concept of the data layer. That's why I wanted to position this in here as well. So in short, a data layer is a structured framework, right, that can act as an intermediary between the data sources and the systems that in the end using the data. Yeah, so it's very, very helpful as it really decouples key information from the source. Yeah, so in here, you see product price information, you see category information, you see color information, right? These are just some simple examples. So it is really standardizing the way the data is collected and processed, of course, and transmitted across various platforms. And this ensures consistency, accuracy, and of course, accessibility, because I want to be enabled, yeah? I want to use the data. So the data layer really abstracts the complexity of underlying data sources, yeah? And making it easier and easy for developers, analytics people, marketing people to interact with it, right? And in the end, it's all about utilizing it. And when we talk about how to process the data, right, there are different concepts out there because I have to find the data in the data layer, what I'm going to do with it, right? So browser-based tracking. And this is a concept or a practice of monitoring and collecting data about a user, right? Online data generated, activities, right, through the browser. And this can include information just like conversion information, device type information, location information, time spent on site, so many things, right? And it's commonly used for various purposes, of course, including analytics, advertising, personalization. But the downside of browser tracking, right, the risk is high that data gets lost on the way, right, from A to B. It's not ending up where it should be. And as we can see, right, through tag blocking, cookie blocking, we can currently see up to 70% of the data is lost, right, which is massive if you think from a marketing impact perspective. So the quality of signals, right, is decreasing with browser-based tracking. And that's why, this is the reason why now everyone is talking about server-side tracking, right, and why it has become so successful over the last 2 to 3 years probably, right? And server-side tracking refers to a process of collecting and processing user data on a web server rather than in the browser, right? And unlike client-side tracking, which in the end, of course, relies on the visitor browser, right? It executes, it's not executing scripts within the browser. The data is processed server-side, right, and actioned server-side. That means through APIs. Yeah? And this is, of course, coming with a lot of benefits because you have reduced impact on browser changes, yeah, because we don't care. We process and activate the data server-side. And this leads to improved data accuracy. Yeah? So it ensures that the data is consistently collected, consistently distributed, regardless of any device settings. And of course, enhanced data security, right? So since the data is handled on the server, it's less likely or it's less exposed to potential security breaches in the user's browser or network. But what's in the end happening in the device, like in a browser or an app, right? So people are interacting with content as they're looking for products, buying something, engaging, searching, whatsoever, yeah? And different tools require and use this data to do their job, right? Either if it's an analytics tool, as you want to have your page view report, right? You want to look what's the most favorite content, right? And you want to track conversions because for my campaign, because I'm an advertising guy, right? I want to track the success of my campaigns. And this is usually done on event level, yeah? So, And as you want to know the number of page views, you want to know the number of conversions, right? But in the end, there's no visitor context, right? No way. And this is what's happening when you aggregate the data for an individual. You turn event level based data and aggregate it for the single person, right? And now you can derive affinities, you can derive engagement scores or channel insights, right? And all available for the individual person. And depending on what kind of IDs you have gathered and collected, yeah, you can even enrich it with historical data coming from CRM systems, data warehouses, and so on, right? So that you have a complete view about the customer. And this, of course, is the perfect foundation really to drive personalization across all channels and platforms. So let's now go deeper into the different Tealium solutions, right? And on top of that, I will also want to tell you about some of the success stories. Starting with Telium IQ, our tag management solution. So as a marketer, analytics person, right, to cover your use cases, as I already said, you need data, right? And this is what Tealium IQ provides because it is very easy to collect data from websites. Yeah? And of course, distribute it through tags to downstream systems. And it's very easy to use because it provides so many out-of-the-box and easy-to-use features. Yeah? Just like thousands of pre-configured tag templates, right? Powerful data transformation capabilities with our extensions. Yeah, and all very easy to apply through UI or also through APIs, because we're now offering a lot of configuration APIs. And HSBC, for example, we had Alex earlier on stage, right? It's a global operating brand, with many, many, many countries, and they needed to harmonize all their tracking across all the different markets. And they were very just amazed about our inheritance features, yeah, just like libraries. Our profile copy feature functionality, yeah, and that was key for them to manage all this at scale. And HSBC is obviously a huge organization, so many, 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 many people concurrently working in the platform. So you need a sophisticated user platform permission approach, right, to handle all this, yeah, and this is what we provide. Adecco, for example, right, they decided for Tealium as they wanted to move away from Google Tag Manager and wanted to set up a privacy-first tag management foundation with Tealium IQ. Yeah? And they are using, for example, more than 100 profiles, right? So they have also a lot of brands and countries. Douglas, they decided for Tealium IQ because they were just amazed about our extensions, how easy it is to hash data, to merge data, to whatever, to apply lookup tables and use this as a very, very powerful data transformation layer. Up next is our server-side data collection and distribution solution EventStream. And due to its server-side data collection and distribution approach, it helps to improve the data quality, right? Which leads to increased measured return on ad spend, right? Attribution and improved analytics results. And it helps really to improve the device performance, right? As you can remove the number of SDKs and tags, and offers various point and click features really to transform the data, to structure the data, monitor the data. It's also a very powerful use case. And of course, to distribute data through pre-configured APIs. SNCF, right? They wanted to reduce the number of SDKs and tags from their devices. Yeah, so they are almost now, by using EventStream, they're almost now in a zero SDK, zero tag approach. Yeah, and this, of course, improved security, right? And they've seen way less battery usage on their mobile devices. And for that, they even got a specific certification, which is called the Green IT certificate. La Redoute, yeah, they have also established a server-side tracking approach, and they are very, very heavy on advertising, right? For them, collecting an event once and distributing it to many, many downstream systems, yeah, so a single tracking plan for all vendors, and this increased their operational efficiency massively, right? So they did a lot of improvements there. TUI, another great success story, because they're heavily using our conversion APIs, just like Meta, Awin, right, to track their affiliate marketing and other use cases. And they've gained a lot of value from that as well. So now we're enhancing these use cases by also considering behavioral insights. Yeah, so that can be made available for activation, really to serve as building blocks for a personalization strategy. And this is what Audience Stream is doing, especially with the powerful team up of Audience Stream and PredictML, our machine learning module. In short, Audience Stream, what it's doing, so it's, as I said earlier, it's all about aggregating the data for a visitor. Yeah, so I'm translating behavioral insights into meaningful and actionable insights. And insight that can be of historical nature, in the moment, real-time information, but also predictive. Yeah, so what is the customer doing next? Yeah, with Tealium Predict, for example. And these insights are used to group people into meaningful audiences, that are then serving as the link between the data and the campaigns, right? Either advertising, emails, CRM, on-site personalization, and many more. And all of this, of course, in real time in an end-to-end process, from collecting the data and bringing this out, which is really making a difference, right? Because people are moving fast, right? It's a complex behavior because moving between different devices and so on. So as a company, you also need to act fast to stay, or to still matter and to stay relevant. And of course, you can benefit from the integration capabilities, because in Audience Stream, we also provide so many out-of-the-box connectors so that it makes it very, very easy to add new tools, to replace tools, whatsoever, to really to stay agnostic and future-proof. ImmoScout, right? They started with Tealium Tag Management, added Event Stream on top, and they also decided for us as the CDP, because they were really convinced about our integration capabilities with Salesforce and many others, but they were amazed how quickly they can get enabled through the first-party data foundation with Tealium IQ and Event Stream, right? So we had a very, very quick start. Gap, right? They're using Tealium Audience Stream to centralize all their point-of-sale data, right? And to make it available, it's offline data, right? To make it available for digital activation across channels, just like on-site personalization, and many other things. TUI, right? So they were expanding. We had TUI on stage this morning, right? So they are expanding the value they gain from one market, right, to other markets, and specifically decided against a platform approach, because they were convinced that our approach in making it available in other markets very quickly due to our maturity of the platform is the right way to do it. And once you have enabled this concept, right, it's very, very simple to extend it to other use cases. Yeah. Just like, and you see it on top, just like data visualization, connecting to data clean rooms, fueling AI with rich and granular data in real time, right? And many, many, many more things. Because we provide solutions that you stay adaptable, right? Due to our integration and real-time capabilities. So you can really stay future-proof and well prepared for the latest trends of customer data management. And this is how you can become a master of customer data management, how you can bring this all together, right? So you're centralizing the data from all sources. And of course, we have the feature functions in place to make this very, very easy. Yeah. Then you standardize it, you bring it all together, and then depending on the different use cases, either if you have a tracking use case, if you have a personalization use case, you apply our different modules, just like Event Stream or Audience Stream. And they share data across different channels and platforms, depending on the use cases, which is also very easy because due to our integration marketplace, you have access to all the different channels, so it's very easy to apply. So, because I have 1 minute left, perfect. 4 things where I believe you should take away from the session, right? First party first, absolutely, right? As this is the data you own and control. Maintain your independence, right? If you build up a data collection and activation stack, be aware to really stay agnostic, right? And don't get locked into a single vendor. And you can only achieve that really with staying agile, right? So the platform should be very easy to use so that you achieve a high adoption rate, right? This brings value. And then, of course, focusing on being proactive. Yeah? So you need to be enabled to act on the latest trends, right? Either if it's a new solution, either if it's whatever updated browser restrictions or any privacy restrictions. There's there's one thing more. You probably heard about the Genius Bar. You can see it, or you find it outside in the marquee. So come pop by. We're happy to talk about the latest trends in the market. Some of it you can see here. We can show you cool stuff. We can have deep dive conversations. You can address your questions, whatever. So thank you very much for attending, and a lot more fun today.